Louisiana beer reviews, Carling Black Label Beer. We are coming from Georgia. I am in Georgia with John and Nilly. Thank you for letting me come and visit you.
Absolutely, glad to have you.
Now, it says Carling, Canada, but you know what? It's really from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it says G. Holloman Brewing, and it's really Pabst, but it's really brewed by Miller, who's really owned by Molson Coors.
Right.
And this is best by August 6, 2018.
Got a date on it.
It's got the date, guys, but not the born on date. Put the damn date. Okay. Someone sent this to me once, 2 cans, and I really appreciate it. And we cannot get this in Louisiana. No way, Jose. You bought this here? It's common here?
Well, it's not common, but I know where to get it. You buy a 12-pack of it for $5 or $6.99, so pretty good value too.
Golly, it's unheard of where I live. My father said back in the 60s when he was in high school, they would drink this.
Yeah, it's one of those
It was cheap.
iconic brands that I've always heard about, that I've wanted to try, but until recently never saw it.
He didn't remark anything about it. That he didn't say it was bad. He just said to drink it because it was cheap. And it's got some bubbles. It's straw, and you see the sediment. Suspended sediment.
Oh, maybe a little when you hold it up to the light. Yeah,
I see it.
Which a lot of beer has has some really fine particulate matter. If you hold it up to direct sunlight, you can see it. Otherwise, you would never know.
Now,
and mine pour with a bigger head than yours, but the glassware's a little different.
Yeah. And in England, it's called Carling Lager. They dropped the black label.
Oh.
I don't know why.
I think the alcohol
It's different.
is different too. Yeah.
It's like 4.2 there. I don't know what it is here. It doesn't say.
This
on the
one
can.
is 4.8, I think. I think it says. I thought it said. Yeah, it does.
I know in South Africa it's 5.5. So in South Africa, it's the #1 selling beer in South Africa. It's like their premier brand, and it's 5.5. It's a malt liquor down there. What happened was Carling was this big British Commonwealth company, came into the U.S., sort of collapsed, got bought out, and so Pabst controls the brand in the United States, and Molson Coors controls it in Europe and in South Africa. You know, it used to be under South African Beverages,
Right, SAB, yeah.
but now there was that buyout. Come to think of it, let me update that. Down in South Africa, it's owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev. Get on their website; it'll link you to that. You know how things got kind of wishy-washy. Foster's was SAB Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's AB InBev. But in the United States, it's still made by Miller, so it's very complicated. All right. Smells like a yeasty, typical standard lager, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've had Budweiser, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Miller High Life, and maybe it's closest to Old Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee or, yeah, Pabst.
Now Pabst has that little kind of winey thing that's kind of differentiated on those. Pabst is so dry. But my friend David loves Pabst, and we have never done a video. You know the guy with the big beard?
Mm-hmm.
I said we got to review Pabst as much as he drinks it.
Pabst is one of my standby beers because it's so cheap and it's just tasty.
And we never reviewed Miller.
Beer.
Yeah, and we never reviewed Miller High Life. Me and my friend David.
Yeah,
we did High Life Light, but he drinks that stuff. Okay.
Although a lot of people are turned off by High Life because it has that vegetable thing going on with it that PBR and a lot of the other
vegetables,
macros don't have. But this one is very good right now after walking a mile and a half or so.
Yeah, light to medium bodied. We just got in that heat. We got in from the heat walking. Very crisp finish. It's got the yeast, the white bread crust, little grassy hops. It's very standard.
Yeah, very standard macro lager type beer. I mean, it is basically macro. Well, it is a macro lager in the United States.
It was $5.99 a 12-pack where I lived.
I think, yeah.
I would only buy that as my standby beer because I'm thinking I'm getting a great deal right now with the Keystone Ice at $7.99 a 15-pack. Not a bad deal, but I mean that's yeah. about $1 less of 30 pack for this. It's just as, no, I can't speak for you. This is just as good as all the other macro beers.
I agree, and I wish it was more common. I wish you could find it everywhere, but maybe that's why it's a little bit cheaper, so maybe it'll be okay. As long as I know where to get it and can buy it for $5-6.99 for a 12 pack, I'll live.
Never see it in bottles. Just
no.
cans, 12-ounce cans. Now, y'all, I know I have seen people post photos of 40-ounce bottles of this.
Oh,
in South Africa, there's a number of different brown bottle sizes. Also,
they're walking the streets in South Africa with 40-ounce bottles of Carling. Well, I mean, I don't know for sure.
I don't know if
Just
they're
saying
walking
that
the streets with the bottles, honestly. This I do not know. There is, and I've seen the photos, and it probably still exists because this is not even listed on the Pabst website.
Right.
So they have a lot of hidden brands, you know, that they don't acknowledge, but they make. There is a Carling Strong, or what is it called? Carling.
Strong ale? Is it an ale or?
It's a malt liquor, and it's about 6-7% alcohol. And I've seen people post it, and it's a type of Carling, and it is apparently available in some little oddball parts of the United States. Well, if I saw that one,
wow.
it's a Carling. Oh, what's the name of that stuff? Some of the viewers are gonna be like, "Don't you know what that is?" But I've seen the photos, and I was like, "Boy, I'd love to get that Carling, whatever it's called. It's not strong, but it's Carling something malt liquor type thing. It's kind of like Rainier beer from Washington. There's also a Rainier ale, which is like a malt liquor, like 7.5%. So hey, well, what would you score this?
I mean, this is right along the lines of the type of beer that I would drink every day. So for what it is, which is just a sessionable macro lager, I think it's an A. It's solid A.
Yeah, I'm gonna say A- because I'm a little not worried, but I'm conservative about these kind of beers. But it's a fine product. If you like macro lagers, and if you don't like mass-produced adjunct lagers, well, okay, you'll probably hate it. But
If you don't like if you don't like Coors Banquet, Miller, High Life, Budweiser, you're not gonna like this.
You'll hate it. But if you like these kind of things, then you should drink it because it's very good. Now, it's like some people will tell me, "Oh, I hate malt liquors." Well, I understand that, and I do like them myself, and I make a lot of malt liquor videos. So, if you hate the malt liquors, you probably don't want to watch the videos, right?
Right.
Because no one's there's no compulsion to watch them. You're not forced to watch them, but. Right. It's funny when I get those kind of comments, but I mean, I like them, so I review them. I mean, I actually review stuff I don't even like just because I want to see what it's like. Give it a
I think as long as you can learn how to rate within the style, even if you don't like the style, you can give it a fair review.
Yeah, I think so.
So a lot of people just, they would slam something like this because it's a macro lager and it's,
I don't like the style.
Start using those terms that.
Yeah. All right, well, it is what it is, but in this case, we like what it is, so y'all come on down to Georgia.